what tips would you give in general for grown-ups, like to identify the rules and find their own way, like what works for them?
So one of the first ways is to understand that human beings need an identity. Like there's this primitive part of our being where we feel safe and secure when we identify as an identity. So we identify as American or Estonian or Republican or Democrat or Christian or Muslim. But there's also a dark side to this. In many of these identity structures, they are useful things and they are horrendously like outdated, nonsensical things. Sometimes in our desire to identify with an identity, we accidentally choose to take on the dark side of these identities. It's super important to be widely open in your perspectives. So while I am Malaysian, I also identify as American and I identify as Estonian. By being able to identify with 3 different cultures, and also Indian, I'm able to see what are the identity constructs which are useful and what are nonsensical. And there are certain things about the American identity that I refuse to take on, such as certain right-wing beliefs, right? Like I think the right to bear arms is just stupid. It's not something that we would allow here in Europe. Likewise, in Malaysia, the religious identity I think is holding so many people back. I prefer the Estonian type of atheism. But at the same time, there are aspects of Estonian identity that I do not like, and I prefer the American type or the Malaysian type. So you must take on you must be able to embrace and play with a multitude of identities. And this also applies to religion. This is why I say do not embrace one religion. You are actually limiting yourself by having one religion. Gandhi said, I'm a Hindu, and I'm also a Muslim, and I'm also a Jew, and I'm also a Christian. Take on multiple religions.